Good morning, viewer. Here is a very terrifying news from India. India has become the terrifying new epicenter of the COVID 19 pandemic. New cases have topped 3 lakhs daily and are still rising. The official death toll of over 2,000 per day is almost certainly an underestimate. Everywhere brings horrifying news stories of mass cremations, overwhelmed testing centers, people dying while waiting for a hospital bed. The country desperately needs help, and the US should provide it. To this point, the Biden administration has rebuffed pleas to share the huge US supply of vaccine doses with the rest of the world, making a slight exception only for neighbors Mexico and Canada. And India is hardly the only nation buffeted by a new wave of cases. Brazil's official death toll is far higher. Many African countries are struggling to procure vaccines, whereas India boasts a homegrown pharmaceutical industry that can churn out tens of millions of doses. Still, there are several reasons why the Biden administration should view the crisis in India with particular alarm. The first is the sheer scale of the problem. Just one Indian state, Uttar Pradesh, has nearly as many people as Brazil. Maharashtra, home to the country's financial capital, Mumbai, has nearly twice the population of South Africa. Now that migrant workers are once again fleeing cities for the countryside, and worshippers have returned home after attending the massive Kumbh Mela religious festival on the banks of the Ganges. There are fears that the virus could take hold in the countryside where most of the country's 1.3 billion citizens lie. If it does, India's tottering healthcare systems risks a breakdown. Per capita, Brazil spends about 40 times as much on healthcare as Uttar Pradesh. Brazil has 214 doctors per 1 lakh people compared to Uttar Pradesh 39. The northern India state has less than half as many hospital beds per capita. And yet, even Brazil's richest state, Sao Paulo, has warned its healthcare system is verging on collapse. If the surge in cases continues, India's poorest states won't be able to cope. This could have massive repercussions for the US and the nation. Another nation, the variant that seems to be driving India's new wave of cases has already been found elsewhere, including in the years. The longer the pandemic rages in India, the greater the chances that more dangerous mutations will emerge and spread around the world. Finally, India's role in the global pandemic is unique. The developing world is counting on affordable Indian vaccine makers such as Serum Institute of India Private Limited for their supplies. With India now reserving virtually all its doses for domestic use, those countries will have to wait even longer to be vaccinated. And if the pandemic disrupts production at Indian pharmaceutical companies, it could affect crucial non-COVID medication as well. Half of the world's children have been vaccinated by Serum Institute. The Biden administration can do two things to help. The first is to ease restriction on critical exports imposed under the Defense Production Act to prioritize the needs of US company. Vaccine production requires very specific medically approved inputs, which are difficult to substitute quickly in the middle of a pandemic. Currently, US producer must secure permission before exporting such things as special sterile filters, disposable bags for cell culture media, and single-use tubing. The embargo has led to major bottlenecks. Serum Institute says that without those inputs, it may not be able to deliver the 160 million vaccine doses it had planned to produce next month. Beyond the report for Shakti TV.